This is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. Woo, we are live for you right here. We just want to say thank you for making ATL Day Ones your first listen of the day. And also remember, we're free and available wherever you download your podcast, and wherever you download your podcast, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. Man, the reports are that the Atlanta Falcons are interested in Jimmy Garoppolo. What? Can the Georgia Bulldogs win a national championship with all those folks that got drafted last year? And last but not least, and for the culture, death to the turnover chain? We'll talk about all that next. But first, we have to talk about this. All right, so the Atlanta Falcons obviously have Marcus Mariota on their roster. They drafted Desmond Ridder, so I think that a lot of people were expecting it to be a healthy competition, between those two guys going into training camp. But here we are looking at reports from multiple guys, multiple blue check dudes, or blue check media, as John Chucker likes to say, that are reporting that the Falcons may be interested in Jimmy Garoppolo. What in the world?
Yeah, that one kind of came from left field, especially when we talked just yesterday about the fact I still have a lot of needs, for example, with the Eddie Goldman retirement. And so that leaves your interior kind of, that maybe they would be focused on that. However, if they got a call from San Fran to say, hey, are you interested? I understand why Terry Fontenot probably took that call, but it scratched my head because, like you said, there's already not a log jam, but it feels like a log and Ridder. And I don't know, at this point, Jarvis, just coming back from injury, we don't is still capable of. So I don't know about that one.
It's kind of weird because when you think about it, it's a situation where, San Francisco is pretty much said they're going to move on. Kyle Shanahan talked about, he's kind of bounced around the idea of him being traded and kind of being a little coy about it once he but the thing about it was the injury. The holdup was the injury. Right now that he's reportedly coming around, supposedly healthy or whatever, or he's able to throw the football. Now that they giving him permission to seek a trade, I think I don't think there's really a healthy market for it, because especially if you're talking about the Falcons, who have two capable guys that they are part of Arthur Smith's system and are very familiar with their system, especially specifically Marcus Mariota, and Ridder is kind of gaining his strength as far as knowing what to do and how to call plays and trying to figure that whole thing out. I just don't think that it makes sense at this point, because unless you don't like what you see once practice gets going. If you don't like what you see once practice gets going, then I might be like, okay, then I can understand them being interested in a guy like Jimmy G.
Yeah, I would agree. I really want to see, and we talked about anybody in pads yet. We haven't seen a preseason game to see how does Desmond Ridder handle the real time, right? Or to see if Marcus Mariota, now that he's back with Coach Arthur Smith, if he's the that gets the Falcons beyond the first 3 or 4 games, right? So yeah, I feel like it's kind of early about going after Jimmy G, although I know you have to have the conversation because there may be some other suitors out there. And because of where we are in the kind of off season leading up to the preseason, this may be get him, I don't want to say on the cheap, but maybe you get him for less than you'd have to pay, or that's wise, than maybe you would have had 2 or 3 months ago. But still,
right.
I don't know on this one. Although, look, in San Francisco calling, they said they want to give up Debo. Okay, that's a different story. But
well, that's a whole other conversation right there, T.
Different if that was the call that was made. But yeah, it's interesting. I really just want to see what Mario, at least for the first couple of days in training camp, and also maybe in a joint practice, kind of see. And then if Jimmy G's still around and the Falcons particularly Arthur Smith, he and Dave are going to want to go in a different direction, then that's fine. I think the other thing is this, and granted, they do have Deebo Samuel, right? But there really wasn't an opportunity how he might work in an offense that may be focused more on the run than the pass. Right? Is he actually a fit for the system? I don't know that he's necessarily a fit.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that, because that you're talking about scheme fit, and like I said, like I mentioned before, like Marcus Mariota is a fit because he's been in Arthur Smith's system before, and now in the spring, Desmond Ridder has come in, and he's starting to familiarize himself with the playbook and what Arthur Smith actually wants from him as a quarterback. And I think that at this juncture, I don't think Jimmy G is necessarily a good idea. But what I do think is a good idea, T, tell about the folks who's looking for some jewelry and talking about Blue Nile and how they can help them out.
See, when I'm talking, I put my glasses on so I can see the fine print. Guys, I want to introduce you or reintroduce you, because Jarvis and I tell you about it all day, every day, and that's online jewelers. So if you are looking to get engaged, or you just want to maybe get gifts for a birthday, just saying, then you want to visit Blue Nile as a.com. Now, there are two parts. As we mentioned, it's wedding jewelry, so that can be for an engagement or an anniversary. If you have just a nice spot that you want to go to and you just want to do it up, well, boom, there it is for you. Now, the other piece there is this. It's simple. How many times have you gone to, I have no idea about weight, I have no idea about what they're talking about as it relates to all of this. Online tools are very, very simple at Blue Nile to get you up to speed on how to pay. And the other thing there is about the fine jewelry. If you're having trouble choosing, they have experts up. And so you make your moments sparkle with jewelry like you get from BlueNile.com, and of course, luck. And our audience, our viewers, you get $50 off of a purchase of $500 or more. So, to this podcast network, you use the code Locked On. Again, I'll tell you, Locked On Plus insured. You gotta love that it ships free, and most importantly, it's gonna be shipped very discreetly. So again, and find your forever piece at BlueNile.com and do it today.
Go ahead and do it today. Don't wait around. Don't stop, man, procrastinating. That's those are my issues. Don't be like me. But T, speaking of, not procrastinating, the Falcons didn't waste any time naming one of their former players, a Bill Walsh coaching intern. That's Courtney Upshaw. He played for the Atlanta Falcons back in 2016 and 2017, and he's going to get an opportunity. He's currently an assistant coach at Grayson here in the state of Georgia, so he's going to get an opportunity to get some exposure to some NFL training camps, some off-season workouts. How about that? Congratulations, Courtney Upshaw. It's pretty cool.
It absolutely is. And, there are so many great programs that the Falcons are leading to our buddy Harry Douglas, and the opportunity that he's been afforded with that team. We know that he has coaching blood running through his veins. So you look at an opportunity. Yeah, you look at an opportunity, and also special teams coordinator Marquise. He and I spoke at length about the program had on him and getting him up to speed and kind of getting him up the ladder, which special teams coordinator opportunity. So I love that they are going back and reaching back. Already in the Falcons family, kind of understands the philosophy of the organization, and just can't say really special opportunity for him.
No doubt about it. Speaking of opportunity, T, Kirby Smart has an opportunity to be one of the, or is taking advantage of the opportunity to be one of the highest paid coaches in college football. My goodness, Georgia agrees to extend him a 10-year deal, $112.5 million. And I find it interesting that this news comes out right after he speaks at SEC Media Days, because we know how close to the vest Kirby can be and how he really doesn't enjoy the whole song and dance about SEC Media Days. But the fact that he was able to become one of the highest paid college football coaches in the country. I think that's pretty cool coming off of winning the national championship.
So much that we can dig into and what happened with SEC Media Days when the Dogs showed Smart. But really everything that we saw from them, there were so many nuggets that I felt like, wow, the possibility of this team, even as you mentioned, yes, they've had 15 players depart, but that they have confidence in the guy at the helm. They're saying that you can get us another one. So when the news came down about the 10 years and the 100, you will, I thought, yeah, that makes perfect sense, because not only gotten you a chance, you hadn't had that taste in your mouth in 4 decades, but also you know about his recruit a couple days ago. He is a master at it. So you're going to see the cycle continue to where Kirby in another stratosphere. And one more thing I want to say, just you mentioned it a couple days ago, it was one of our questions in that conversation with a Nick Saban or with a Dabo Swinney. This tells me that they're already, he's getting there.
No doubt about it. And we'll talk about, can he get there up next? Can he get that second national championship? Can he get back-to-back national championships and get his name up into the Dabo Swinney and the Nick Saban conversation? We'll talk about all of that next right here on ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and T. Don't go anywhere. It's Locked On Sports Atlanta.